Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wire Talk. If you're new to our July series, we are re-airing the best of best Wire Talks, and we have saved the best for the last 2 weeks of July, and that is the State of the Union of Motherhood, Part 1 and 2. I remember when we were planning this session out, and I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. You do lay down some good truths. They are hard, but they are good. And I think every once in a while, moms, including me, mostly including me, we need to put on our closed-toed shoes and we need some hard truths because being a mom is the best job in the world, but it is very hard. And sometimes you just need some truth and encouragement to go along with it. And you bake us a beautiful humble pie of that in the State of Union of Motherhood.
Well, how it came about is back whenever I used to have classes and Katie Leiprint, who is our producer for Wire Talk,
which shout out to Katie because this would not happen without her. So if you love Wire Talk, thank you, Katie.
Yeah, because we wouldn't be doing it without Katie.
Because she's amazing.
Yes. But she was just saying, Karen, like one thing I used to love about your classes when you did them live was you just gave the hard truth and you didn't, skirt around it. You were just like hardcore. This is what you got to do. I know it's hard, but just stop complaining and do it. And I was like, you're right. It does get softened whenever you are in a large audience and you're not seeing really the faces. And I don't know, there's just something that's lost there. So I was like, you know what? We can do this. We can do the State of the Union and just sort of lay it down. Here's the road of motherhood. And this is the deal. Motherhood is really hard. And, sometimes we as moms, we have to be the bad guys. But you have to think long term. And I know this is hard. This is hard on my child. This is hard on me. You know what? This is a great example. I was just talking to a mom the other day at church, and she was like, and her kids are older now. And she said, and she has very well-behaved children. We were talking about sleep.
Oh.
And she was like, when they were little, I was so into the schedule and I wouldn't compromise on it. And I made them sleep in their own beds and all the things. And now I think... She was talking. She said, now I think I probably wouldn't be that way anymore. I probably would be more lax. I mean, why was I so stressed out about it? And I looked at her and I said, you say that because your children are good sleepers.
Oh, that's very true.
I said, but had you catered to them, not made them stay in their room, not, taught them how to put themselves to sleep and all that, they would be horrible sleepers and you would be fighting battles every single night. And I'm telling you, for the one, I said, I have tons of moms that write into me on this and they are so frustrated. They are so beyond, they're like, I've created this monster. I don't know how to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you say that because you are reaping the benefits of your hard work. But had it been the opposite, I guarantee you'd be like, I wish I would have been stricter.
Yeah.
So I think I just come along as a seasoned mom, a veteran mom, and I'm like, hey, this is worth the battle. Not everything is worth the battle.
Yeah.
But a few things is worth the battle. And it's hard. It's not easy when your child's crying and they want you. It's hard to say no, go back to your room, listen, and walk them back and get them in. It's hard. So anyways.
Yes, for sure. I'm about to go back into that season with a newborn. So I'm excited about the newborn. I'm like, but I remember you saying you're going to spoil this one. And I mean, I think
it's hard not to spoil the baby.
Yes. But I think also you're like, but you got to stay firm. And I'm like, all right, I can spoil and stay firm at the same time. So you can give me a hard truth if you're seeing
lovingly firm,
going off the rails. So, but anyways, you're in for a treat with this episode. So I hope you enjoy it. And that's it.
All right.
Well, good morning, Mom.
Well, hey, how are you, Em?
Oh, I'm just dandy. I missed you so much in December.
I know. Did you really?
I really did.
You missed being in the studio and with me and everything?
I mean, the only thing that I didn't miss was figuring out my outfits for the month.
It's hard.
I mean, I know that
people don't think about that, but it's really hard.
It is. And I was getting ready this morning and I was like, hey, I'm going to wear this sweater. And I was like, did I already wear that sweater? And I don't think these moms really care.
No.
Because they're probably
not really looking.
No, and if they're like me, they're just what's the phrase, like reset, like wash, repeat the same pair of leggings and sweatshirt.
Wash, wear, repeat.
Thank you. Wash, wear, repeat of the same pairs of leggings and sweatshirt because that's how I am.
Yes.
You know, so when it comes to real clothes, it's a little bit more difficult.
Well, what I always think about is, okay, how's that going to look on camera? You know, like, am I going to look 10 pounds heavier?
Right.
Am I going to look good in that?
Well,
I know that's silly and it's very vain, but you and I just keep it real here. So,
I mean, I
It's the
think
truth.
everybody thinks about that kind of stuff.
do they? That
I mean,
makes me feel better.
At least I do. At least I do for sure. Well,
I have my coffee because I need it today.
Oh, I
This
think
is my first cup.
This is my first cup too.
Is it?
Well,
Cheers.
clink.
Chink for the new year, too.
for the new year. Can't believe it. You
Yes.
know what we're gonna hit in January?
What?
400 episodes.
400 episodes of Wire Talk?
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know. It's truly
That's crazy town.
I remember when you first started this.
Yeah.
I mean, and I wasn't even a mom.
Not many people had podcasts then.
I know.
So I was like, they said, we think you should do a podcast. And I'm like, literally, I said, what's a podcast? And
And now
told me,
they're everywhere.
they're everywhere. Everybody does them.
Everyone listens to podcasts. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
We were pioneers.
you're pioneers.
I'm a
You're
pioneer.
You're just setting the way. Well, speaking of setting the way, what is on the horizon for 2024 for these sweet birds on the wire mamas? Because I feel like we got a lot.
We got a lot
But a
coming
lot of
down the
good
pipe.
stuff.
Yeah. I'm excited about 2024. I'll tell you why. We just refilmed Momcore in November. And we did it because it's 10 years old. Can you believe that? Momcore is 10 years old.
I thought it was 11 years old.
No, it's 10 because Evie's 10. And she was
Wow.
born in the middle of Momcore when I was filming. So I filmed at North Point. The next day,
Wow.
Kelsey called and said, they're inducing me tomorrow for Evie. And I said, what? And then I was speaking again on Wednesday. So I left Atlanta, drove to Meridian, Mississippi, was there for the birth, drove all night to get back, and then spoke that morning at Brownsbridge for Momcore. It was crazy. So I know exactly how old Momcore is because it's 10 years old.
Well, I did drive from Auburn to go to Meridian,
You
Mississippi,
did.
and I got a super speeder ticket on the way home. So, you know,
Emily was a hot mess express. She was very emotional.
I was emotional.
You were just crying all the time about things.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we refilmed Momcore, and the reason we did it is because it's 10 years old, and
Yeah,
let's just
it needed it.
laugh at my hair and my outfits and all the things. But also, I've been doing those talks for now 10 years, and I just really felt like we could dial these in. Like the more I do them live, the better they get.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, let's redo them. We redid the contentment talk completely. I did that one out in Texas.
It's really good.
And I loved it. And I said, this has to be on Momcore.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not just about being content. It's about being exhausted and how
Further.
God is the only one that can fill us up. And so I really love that talk. But then we also gave bonus material this go round.
Yeah. And you also changed your stories around.
I did. So their new story is fresh.
It is fresh and it
fresh.
needed to happen.
Yeah. And you were a little hesitant for us to like redo it because you're like, I feel like if moms have already done it, they're going to feel
was.
like.
I was, for
I mean,
sure.
I'm glad. And I'm glad you pushed back. But you were at the filming.
I was.
Did you feel like, well, you even said, I still got something out of that, even though I've heard it so many times.
Well, I just think, I think normally they were like 45 minutes talk because they
Right.
were live.
Mm-hmm.
And then this version, they were like 20 minutes, but I felt like it felt like a 45-minute talk because you got so much out of it.
Well, I just got to the point,
And it
like
was
instantly.
It was really good.
Thank
I
you.
totally felt the Holy Spirit while you were giving those talks too.
Thank
Because you were
you.
so calm and it was just so direct. But all right, well, I think we've talked about Momcore for about 5 minutes, but I mean, which is great because I mean, it is so
well, it's
important.
exciting. So I wanted to let the moms know, and I feel like the Wire Talk moms are them and the private Facebook page moms are like the core moms of motherhood.
Yeah. And if you guys didn't know, there is a private Facebook group called BOAW Moms, and it's on Facebook. And I love looking on that Facebook group because it's a lot of like, all right, what do you do about this? And blah, 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 blah.
Great
and,
advice.
And they're just they're
They're
sweet,
positive.
and they just talk to each other.
Yeah.
And and then in December, we did a Facebook Live for them.
Yeah, just for them. That's right.
So if you haven't already, make sure you join BOAW Moms. It is a private group, so you have to be accepted. But don't worry, we'll accept you. But I'm just saying, like, not everybody Joe Schmo can come on. We just try to make sure that, their moms are in it.
Yeah,
so.
You have to ask to be on, and then we accept them. But getting back to Mom Core, I just want to let all the people know that it'll probably be out in February. That's our goal, is to have it ready to launch in February. And I believe then we're going to do Mom Core Online as well.
Oh, so
And that way moms can go through it by themselves. They can go through it with a group. They can go at their own pace. And once you buy Mom Core Online, it's yours forever. So you can rewatch it. We've got bonus material. We're going to redo the book, everything, like the workbook and all that. So it's going to be a great thing. And then what else is coming in 2024? My goal is to film 2 new curriculums.
Oh, yes.
And I say that's my goal because we always start off the year with goals. And I hope, it all depends on how year in giving went and all that, the money. But that's my goal, is for 2 new curriculums. One will be, Mom Core will be out in February. Another one will probably be out sometime in 2024. And then the other one that we film may not be available till 2025, but who knows?
Who knows?
We are relaunching our book, Survival Guide to Motherhood. I'm super excited about this. We got a new publisher. It's going to be coming out in June 30th.
Oh, I thought it was July.
Oh, it is July.
Okay,
sorry.
It's July.
July 30th. I'm super excited about that. It's got a new cover. And everybody that has bought the book through Birds on a Wire, we're going to give y'all a new copy because I want you to have the updated and the better version. So I think that's only fair. So if you didn't buy it at our store or in an event, then let me know. Email info@Birds on a Wire and say, hey, I bought this book. Just send a picture of the book and we will send you with your address and we'll send you a new copy signed. I'll sign it.
You also have a devotional coming out?
Yes, our teen devotional's coming out in January.
But it's a teen girl, yeah.
Teen girls. So it's 100 devotions for teen girls.
I feel like that's so
super
great.
Excited. I dedicated the book to all you girls. My girls, Kelsey, Emily, and Abby. Had I not told you that?
You did, but I just think it's just every single time you did, but I was like, oh, that's sweet. But then you just told them you did it. So that's sweet too.
I just have a special place in my heart for girls. I mean, I know I had 3, and of course I love Taylor, and he's super special and very wonderful. But I just think probably coming from a family of 4 girls, and I had 3 girls, and I just think girls have so much pressure on them in a different way than boys. And it's just, they tend to be insecure, even if they are beautiful and smart and all the things, they just beat themselves up. And I just wanted a devotion that would speak to their identity, the fact that Jesus loves them, that he's for them, and just to let them know they're valuable and they're worthy.
It's so great.
So that's sort of what I focused on that devotional. So if you have if you're a mom of teen girls, or if you're a grandmother listening and you have a granddaughter, get them the teen girl devotional.
When is that coming out again?
January. Moments with God for teen girls.
I'm going to buy it and just read it myself.
Oh, you're so funny. So that's
serious.
what's coming up. Plus speaking engagements across the country. If anybody wants me to come to their church,
how do they? I think people always ask that. Like, how do they get you to their church?
Well, all they have to do is ask. Reach out to Amanda at info@Birds on a Wire Moms and say, hey, we're interested in Karen coming out. And she's got a whole spreadsheet she'll send you. Katie actually reaches out. Katie actually reaches out and starts the conversations and everything. And we try to make it happen. So if it's at all feasible, we make it happen. But I'm super excited. I'm going to some fun places. And I am talking to my dear friend out in Texas about going to Guatemala maybe this next year.
What?
And I'm super excited about that. So Joanna and I are working on the details. We will let everybody know if it happens, but I'm super excited.
I guess I'm going to Guatemala this year.
I guess you are. So.
I mean, I just invited myself, but.
You're like, I'm coming.
All right. Well, we got a lot of material. We got a lot going on in Birds in 2024.
We do.
But we got a lot of stuff to talk about in this episode.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 parts.
It's going to be 2 parts.
So big.
And mamas, let me just tell you, put your steel-toed boots on. And if you don't like this episode, you can thank me because this was actually my idea. Because I needed it. And what I'm talking about is we're kind of, Mom
I'm going to do a State of the Union.
Yeah. What is
like
that
the president.
really? You said that.
Well, they're so funny. I said a couple of quotes during that meeting, and you and the younger Katie was like, what are you talking about? So State of the Union is what the president gives to the United States at the first of the year.
Yeah.
And he sort of catches everybody up. Hey, this is what's going on good. This is what we got to work on. These are our goals. So that's what I want to do for Birds on a Wire. I want to give our State of the Union, like where are moms today in 2024, January 2024? What are their struggles? What are they dealing with? And all that. And then when you suggested this topic to really give some hard advice was what you said. I just think moms need some hard advice. I got to thinking and I just thought, whenever I used to have classes, I did do this every so often because you're hearing the moms all the time. And as I'm not doing the live classes, I don't give this speech too much anymore. But I thought, I think my Wire Talk mamas, they need this speech.
Right. So we were brainstorming for all of the podcasts for 2024, just so y'all know how this came about. And we were talking about what should we do. And it just reminded me, we were working on a social media post, actually. Yeah. You and I put the Emily Green, like, it's okay.
Keep it
it's
sweet.
Fine. And you told me, you're like, that doesn't, excuse me, that doesn't sound like me. Sorry.
Right.
So excuse me. You said that doesn't sound like me. The moms want the hard truth. And I'm like, oh, that's hard for me to write that. And you're like, well, give it to me. I'll write it. So she wrote it out. And I just, in our meeting, I just said, I think moms, really me, and this was a me thing. I was like, I think I need that kind of kick in the pants. You've been wearing leggings all holiday season. Put your jeans on, see if they fit. Where do you need to adjust? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I think it's going to be a little bit of a, I got to do that because this is what I need to.
Well, sure. We all get lax.
But you need it. Like
we do. We need a kick in the pants.
You need a good kick in the pants.
We all need to put our big girl pants on and get with life. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think that needs to be our next T-shirt. Put your big girl pants on.
Yeah, I agree. I would buy it 100%. So we're ready for some tough love.
Okay, ready or not, here it comes.
And if y'all didn't hear, this is a 2-part series. So don't be discouraged. We're going to, Mom's going to fill you with some great truth and knowledge, but a little bit of a kick in your pants. But we got this.
Do summer days have you dreaming of your next getaway, mama? Well, imagine this. Your 2026 girls trip. But make it on a ship with an amazing pool, endless food you didn't have to cook, no dishes, no responsibilities, and a beach waiting at every stop. Add in some worship, laughter, and teaching that empowers you to be a more confident mom, and you've got Soar at Sea, a 3-day cruise with Karen Stubbs happening February 20th to 23rd, 2026. It's one of those once-in-a-lifetime trips that everyone's glad they said yes to. And it's about the same cost as your usual girls' getaway. We still have space, so gather your crew and register today at soaratsea.com. That's soaratsea.com.
I personally need this because I'm in the thick of it. I've got Harper, who's 5. Yep. She's a strong red.
Strong.
And then I've got Grayson, who's 3. I don't really know where he is. I think he's a yellow, but I don't really know. And, I just needed it. I need a pep talk because it's kind of hard.
It's really hard.
It is hard. And I know it's good, but it is also hard.
Yes.
So I kind of was like, Mom, and I have you all the time. Yeah. But all these sweet mamas don't have you all the time.
Well, let's give it to them.
Because
listen, I love everybody. And my heart is for moms. I wouldn't do this if it weren't. Truly, people are like, if they see me and I hug them, they're like, oh my gosh, you hugged me. And I'm like, of course I hugged you. I'm just like a mom, just like you. I understand where you are. I know this is hard. But I remember in the basement group that first year I was doing Birds on a Wire, I had 2 groups. I had the youngers, the like 5 and under moms.
So the me's.
Yes. And then the older, a little bit older moms. And the younger group, they just, every week they just would come in and they would say, this is so hard. This is so hard. This is so hard. And I told them one day, I said, and this is what I wanted to tell the Wire Talk moms. Let's just agree as a community that motherhood is hard. Let's just agree to that. Like it's on the table. Motherhood's hard. No matter which way you slice it, it's hard. So now that we've all agreed about it, let's stop talking about how hard it is because it is hard. and us talking about how hard it is. It's sort of like whenever I'm working out. I can sit there and say, this is so hard and I hate this and this is so hard. But I have to push through and do the workout, even if it's hard. Of course it's hard. Why? If it's not hard, then why would I be doing it?
So you're saying the amount of complaining doesn't change how hard it is.
That's exactly right.
Okay. I got my shoes on, Mom. I got my shoes on.
Yeah, I know. So let's stop complaining.
Okay.
The Bible does say that, to not complain. But before we get into the ugly part of the hard stuff, let's talk about the good part. Because in the State of the Union, the president usually leads out with all the good that's happening in the country. So let's talk about the good. So right now, the good news is I just want to talk about all the good qualities I see in moms as I travel around and I talk to moms and I answer their questions online and all that. So the good, I've got 3 great traits here. One thing about moms is they are devoted. In today's day and age, they're devoted. They're devoted to their children. They're devoted to doing it right. They are devoted to, I think, the concept of, I want to get this right. I want to do this right. I want to be a good mom. Like I've never seen before. They are devoted to that concept. And that's so good. That's so good. They love their children. And I think even like my mom, she loved us for sure, but there either weren't that many resources out there for her or she didn't know how to get them. But in today's day and age with social media and books and everything else, there's so much out there and moms are devoted to learn. And that brings me to the second point. Moms are learners in today's day and age. They are looking, they are researching, they are trying to figure it out. They're reading the books. If I have Sissy Goff or David Thomas on the podcast or any of the experts, they're like, listening to that, going to their website, getting their books, learning. They're trying to figure it out and they're learners. And that is always a good thing. And then the last one is they have a desire for excellence. I really do believe that more than anything. They are desiring to do it right, sometimes do it perfect. And I always tell mom, there is no perfection here. But they have this desire that's pushing them to do it right, to do it excellence, and to have a great quality child. Okay. So those are my top 3 things that I see in moms really across the board.
I love that. The one that stuck out to me the most personally was I am devoted. And I'm going to write that on my mirror.
You are devoted.
Because, you are. Because they are your children and you love them so much. Just like you're devoted to these sweet mamas.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I mean, that's a good point. Like, birds on a wire is hard. And it's not a fun yellow thing to do all the time. I mean, when I'm speaking live and stuff like that, I love it.
It's all that behind the scenes.
But it's
stuff.
behind the scenes that's really hard, that drags me down. That's like, I don't want to make this decision. I don't want to raise money for this. I don't want to ask people for money. I don't want to sit here and look at this bank statement and try to figure this. I don't want to do that. I don't like it. But I do it because I'm devoted to the moms. I'm devoted to what God's called me to do. And I want to do it well. So we just have to stop complaining that it's hard and just get it done. So,
well, thank you for encouraging me and for us. And I feel like, that probably touched a lot of moms out there who sometimes don't feel seen or don't feel heard, because I do think we'll stop complaining, but it is hard.
It is.
Sometimes you just need someone to come alongside of you and be like, I know this is hard, but you can do it.
Yes.
And I think that's what this is all about today.
Absolutely.
And I think starting off with encouraging for everyone is going to be great. Well, you buttered us up.
All right.
So
here comes the hard stuff. Y'all ready?
And it's not bad news.
It's stuff that they already know.
It's just,
they just need to be told. And
not you. I need it. So don't worry. This is not just a you thing, guys. This is a me thing 100%.
Well, yeah, and so the first truth of motherhood, of their State of the Union, is life is not fair. And this is a hard one because you know what? We all want things to be fair. I mean, our children are not the only people that want things fair. We want things fair. And in motherhood, life is not fair. It's not fair with your husband. He's not going to change as many diapers as you. He's not going to do as many carpool rides as you. He's not going to be staying up in the middle of the night with ear infections and all that, or Greg didn't. Greg would be like, oh my gosh, the girls slept so good last night. And I'm like, no, they were up.
They didn't.
They did not sleep good last night, or, whatever. So life is not fair, but we get so caught up in, or I'll just say I got so caught up in that life isn't fair. That's all I focused on all the time. And I noticed that as I'm speaking and as I'm talking and the questions that moms are writing in, like, I thought this was going to be 50-50, and it's not. You're right. It's not. It is you giving 100%, and hopefully your husband's giving 100%, but you can't even worry about what he's giving and what he's not giving. You have a job to do. And that's what I always tell moms. We have a job to do, and that is to take care of our kids, to nurture our kids, to grow them up, train them up in the way they should go. That's our job. And it is wonderful whenever our husband is involved and a part and all that. But even when he is, you had a great dad.
Yeah.
A fabulous dad. But was it ever 50-50?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And these sweet, single moms out there, it's all on them. 100%. So as a mom, we can compare ourselves to stay-at-home moms or working moms. We can compare ourselves to single moms versus married moms. We compare ourselves constantly. And then we're always saying, this isn't fair, this isn't fair, this isn't fair. Well, stop measuring, stop comparing. Keep those blinders on like I talk about all the time. Don't look to your right, don't look to your left. Stay focused. Mm-hmm. This is my lane. And that's what I used to always do. I would be like, I would have friends and their husbands would go out of town for one night and they'd complain, he was gone. It's so hard when he's gone. And I would just be sitting there going, oh, really? You're going to really have this conversation when I'm sitting in your presence? I can't even believe this. And I'm like, I would dream for Greg to go out of town for one night. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be a walk in the park. But he was gone a lot more than one night. And so, but I had to stop comparing that, because the more I compared, the angrier I got at Greg, mm-hmm. the more frustrated I got at myself, and that all that did was trickle down to you guys. And so I just had to stop comparing. Kelsey right now, Kevin is doing a lot of reserve work with FedEx, and he's over in Memphis and he's sleeping. And it drives Kelsey crazy because, she's up, she's doing the dog, she's got the kids, she's doing the carpool, she's doing all the stuff.
She is.
And he is sleeping, and she'll call me and do you know how long? Kevin slept for 12 hours yesterday. You know how she rants and raves.
Yes.
And I just said, Kelsey, it doesn't matter how much sleep. When Kevin leaves out of your driveway, you've got to turn that part of your brain off and not look at what he's doing anymore. It doesn't matter. He's out of town. So why do you care that he's sleeping? And she said, because I'm not getting any sleep. And I said, 100%. I understand, sweetie, but it's not doing you any favors focusing on how much sleep he's getting and how much sleep you're not getting. Mm-hmm. It's just making you madder.
Right.
And she said, you're right. You're right. So
can you give us a practical tip on when you were in the thick of it? Like, let's just use that example for that. When you were with that friend, she's like, oh, my husband's gone for one night, and dad's in the, we can use any part of his career.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to use whatever. So we'll just use, he was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How do you, in the moment, be like, don't compare, keep my blinders on, don't get bitter, don't get angry? Like, what is something that you learned over the years to be like, okay, stop?
I just had to constantly remind myself, that's not my life.
Okay.
I would love for Greg to be gone for one night, but that's not my life. My life is he's gone for 2 weeks out of the month, every single month.
Right.
Period. End of story, unless he's got vacation. And 9 times out of 10, when he had vacation, he picked up extra flying jobs to work those months. I mean, that's just the way he rolls. So that's not my life. So it doesn't matter if that would be so wonderful and easy for me. I don't have that. Mm-hmm. I have what I have, and I have to make the best of it. And then to also look at the positive that, Greg was out there earning a living. I was able to be a stay-at-home mom a lot of the time. It really was a blessing, and that I could be there for y'all the whole time. And I didn't have to put y'all in daycare and things like that, because I was afforded to be able to stay home. Even whenever I worked I just worked part-time so I could get y'all off the bus or pick you up from school type of thing. So I just had to remind myself there's a lot of good that comes with Greg's job. There's a lot of hard that comes with Greg's job, but that's okay.
We were at a baby shower this past weekend and we went around and said an advice.
Yeah.
And one of the sweet mamas said, it's all about your perspective. And I felt like that was so
It was
insightful.
good advice. Yeah.
And this sweet mom was like, she's one of my best friends. And she was like, the 3 a.m. feeding, she's like, I get to wake up at 3 a.m. And I was like, I mean, I have never felt that way.
No,
but,
I never did either.
I do think you can change your perspective and be like, I get to do this. And God's given me a home. And
It's a privilege.
And it's a privilege to raise these children.
Yep.
So, but I do think you do have to change it. And you have to be like, God, I need you to change my heart too.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Okay, moving on. The truth number 2 is being a mom is hard. I know we said that.
Oh, life is not fair was number 1. Being a mom is hard.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Sorry.
So that's the way it is, and what the reasons it's hard is, first off, it never ends. Never, ever, ever.
I think one time I was like, I feel like I just had this conversation with Harper and you're like, yeah, and it's not the last time. And I'm like, oh,
exactly. Well, we want it to be one and done. Like I did so good on delivering that punishment. Like they should have gotten it and they didn't, and it's like, oh.
Or they did get it at one time, but they're not going to get it.
They do it. Yeah. Next thing is the kids fight against you. I mean, really and truly, you think about it. There's no other profession out there where, people are just constantly fighting against you the whole time. I mean, right?
I mean,
when
I never
you
thought about it that way. But
when you taught, I mean, if your students were fighting against you the whole time, you would have given up. You'd have been like, screw this. I don't need this mess. You know what I mean?
100%.
But they were like, yes, Miss Kurosik, we'll do it. And they did it. I mean, every now and then they'd push back. But as a whole... And I doubt very seriously the whole class revolted at one time.
No, that would have been
You may have
chaos.
had one student or something, but your children are constantly pushing against you on everything, what they eat, what they wear, their nap times, they're cleaning up the playroom, they're watching a show. Even if you say, let's watch a show, I don't want to watch that show. It's just everything is always a fight.
Getting in the car seat, how you put in the car seat,
and
who clicks in the buckles.
It doesn't stop as they get older, I don't want them sitting next to me. They're touching me. They're doing this. They're doing that. As they're teenagers, I mean, it's just, it never ends. So that's the thing. It never ends, and the kids fight against you the whole time. So that's 2 reasons it's really hard. Another reason is no one praises you. I mean, every now and then your husband goes, you're doing such a good job. And you're like, you could just keep talking about that for the next hour and it's not going to be enough. Like, keep it up. I need to hear this all the time. And we don't get it all the time. And that's really hard, I thought. And then the other thing is, moms, we mess up.
Yeah.
And when we mess up, we are brutal on ourselves. And we are just, constantly beating ourselves up. Nobody's harder on themselves than a mom. And it just makes the whole thing hard. So I just, I think whenever I was in that stage of parenting and I was going through it, I just had to remind myself, this is hard. I can do hard things. And God is going to give me what I need to get through this day. And I can remember waking up and being like, God, I have no idea how I'm going to get through the next 24 hours. I have so much on my plate. I need you to literally expand the hours of this day for me to get it done. And for some way, somehow, it all worked out. And I really think it was just those prayers of giving it to him in the morning. The bottom line is I started realizing, you know what? I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And it's imperative that I bring him into this mothering journey with me. Because the reality of, in the world that we live in 2024, these sweet mamas, they are bombarded by that they can do it all. They can have it all. They can, that's what the world is telling them all the time. And, if you just work harder, if you just do more and blah, 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 blah. And that's such a lie. It's such a lie that we can't do anything without Christ. I mean, I believe that with all my heart. I mean, I do feel like I was a good mom. I do.
You were a great mom.
Well, thanks. But it's because of Christ
Mm-hmm.
in me. And I think those early years of your dad being gone, only home, averaging 5 days a month, that I just hit my wall and I realized I can't do this by myself. And even though I'd been a Christian since I was 7, I really had never implemented God in a way in my life where I need you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not just lip servicing here. I mean, I flipping need you because I'm going to, come unglued if he doesn't step in. And he did step in. And that's the point. So moms, just remember that you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. That was sort of a verse that I clung to. And then James 1:5, if anyone lacks wisdom, which that was me, he will give it to us abundantly, without finding fault. So I just wanted to let the moms know that all of our complaining and whining and carrying on isn't doing anybody any favors. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely not doing you as a mom a favor, because all it's doing is making us, you don't want people to say, oh boy, here she goes again. You know what I mean? Because all of our kids are going to push back. All of our kids are going to, because they have sin nature and they have a will of their own and they're trying to exert their independence and blah, 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 all the things. So we got to just rein it in and realize that we can do hard things with Christ right by our side.
Yeah. I think when I have hard moments, like which happens on the reg, like this a couple weeks ago, I just put too much on my plate.
Yeah.
And that was no one's fault but my own.
Right.
We had a ballet recital. I had so many cookies due. We had a baby shower, blah, 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 blah. And it just felt like overwhelming.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And you know what? You said, do you need help, Emily? And I wanted to be like, no, I don't need help, because I didn't want to say yes.
To admit you needed help.
I needed help. But I just said, yes, I need help. And you're like, all right, what can I do? And I think sometimes it's so hard to admit that you need help. But when you say yes and you invite people in, like, let's just use the newborn stage.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember you're like, Emily, what do you need? I'm like, no, I got it. I can do it. And you said, stop.
Yeah.
What do you need? I was like, I need you to put the dishes in the dishwasher. And that was something so simple. And you're like, okay, I can do that. I think when I let go of my desire to do everything by myself,
right,
it freed me up of so much. And also, I think you talk about this in Mom Core. At one point in one of your sessions, you were like, I remember you said, I remember sitting in the bathroom playing that the God, I Need You song.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I have my moments of desperation, I'm like, all right, everybody, I got to listen to this song. And I'm like, you know what? Even my mom, Superwoman, needed Jesus, and I need Jesus too.
Amen.
And so that's like my anthem sometimes. I'm like, all right, God, I Need You. That song's going to be playing on the background. And Harper's like, I want to listen to The Wheels on the Bus. I'm like, no, mommy needs this song. So
it's so true.
Because I do think motherhood is so hard.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think, a lot of times we need to just be like, yeah, this is hard. What am I going to do about this?
That's right. I'm not going to stay in the hard.
Because if you stay in the hard, you're just going to, it's going to be like, sinking sand.
It's just going to pull you down further, and it's just not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we still have 2 more truths, mamas.
All right. Here we go.
We're going to pause it.
Okay.
And we're going to do the next episode, because we've already been talking a long time. And, sometimes it's like a fire hydrant. You're like, oh, I need a breath.
Yes.
So we're going to give you guys a breath. But don't worry, we'll be back next week for part 2, for truth number 3 and number 4. But Mom, what's one encouraging note that you can leave these moms as their feet are a little bruised because we stepped on them a little bit more than we normally do? How can you encourage them to get to the next week?
I just want to encourage them that they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they
are. I mean, they really are. I mean, moms beat themselves up, and they don't need to do that, because they really are doing a good job because of their devotion and their willingness to learn and their wanting to do things with excellence. They are going to get through this.
Yeah.
They're going to get through this. So they're doing a good job. So hang in there, mamas. I still love you. This is a loved hard talk, but it's in love for sure.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining in on the first episode of 2024. And we can't wait for the rest of 2024 for Wire Talk. If you have any questions, please email them at info@personalwiremoms.com. And we'll see you guys next week with part 2 of State of the Union of Motherhood. Truth number 3 and 4 is coming at you next week. to you guys.